Good morning. I have had 2 cups of coffee, so bear with me. We are headed essentially to Page, Arizona, but first you have to leave Tucson and kind of go north back through Grand Canyon National Park. So that's what we're gonna do. Today, since we're going to be going northeast to Page, Arizona, we're going to go back into the entrance, but this time we're going to check out a couple of spots on the eastern side, so I'm kind of excited about that. That's where you're going to find things like the Yavapai Trailhead and the Visitor Center. If you missed that video, I'm going to leave a link in the description below, so make sure you check that out after you're done watching this. And also, we're going to stop for just a little bit because I'm going to film my top, best, fantastic tips if you need to plan your trip to the Grand Canyon. Hopefully we'll get a peek of the Grand Canyon again and Horseshoe Bend in Page, Arizona. You've heard of Horseshoe Bend. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it on Instagram. So let's go there for sunset and see what it's all about. We are in parking lot 2. We finally got parked this morning. When we came here yesterday, about 9 a.m., parking lots 1, 2, 3, and 4 were wide open. But this morning, now that we're more like 11:30 or noon, it's hard finding a parking space. So get here early, trying to get to the Grand Canyon, I would say at least by 9, maybe 9:30 at the latest. That way you're not having to fight for a parking spot and wasting time. So we're here at the Visitor Center. We didn't get to really come over here yesterday. We mostly stayed on, like I said, the west side of this kind of national park area. So we're going to pop over here at Mather Point. And you can see the Colorado River. Hold on, let me zoom in as best I can. Colorado River is right there in the middle of the screen. Very small little blip running through the canyon. And over here is actually another point where you can stand and look out. It's just massive. Oh my gosh. I kind of wonder what this is. If you know, it looks like a hole. Maybe it was a cave right there in the middle of the screen. Possibly could have been indigenous tribal cave. I'm not sure. Tell me if you know. We're right here looking over Mather Point. Let me go over here. I'm having to walk slow because I'm telling you, we are high. Oh, wow. So from Mather Point, there's a little trail, and it just kind of goes along the rim. I'm not sure if this is actually officially the rim trail, but we're going to walk right over here to this other viewpoint. I'll mention it in my Grand Canyon tips video, but you can bring your pet. They have to stay on the rim trail or the greenway trail. They cannot get off the rim. They need to always be leashed. And then they do have kennels if you want to board them for a little while you do get off the rim and go down a trail. They do have to be up on their vaccinations, of course. And I'll leave a link in the description below so you can look that up if you want to bring your pets. Of course, as always, service animals, these rules don't apply to them. You can take your service animal anywhere that you normally would, but definitely talk to the park rangers if you want to take your dog off onto the trails, your service animal off onto the trails, because I do think that they have some additional just kind of safety measures to keep everybody safe, including your pet and your service animal. Woo, this is high. Yikes. So that is Mather Point, where we just were. And we just kind of walked the rim over here. I don't know what point this is. If I figure it out, I'm going to put it on the screen for you because I'm sure it has a name. They all do. So if you come to the Visitor Center and Mather Point, this is where you need to like load up on your prep work. They've got food. They've got water. Go to the bathroom. They have a bookstore. Lots of facilities. I would probably, if I were you, maybe start here check this out. It's one of the more popular areas, but like I said, get here early in the morning, probably at least before 9. Get up to the visitor center, get yourself a coffee, and come enjoy this beautiful view. We are about to get back in the car and head towards Page, Arizona. Like I said, we're gonna try to get there for sunset at Horseshoe Bend today. And on the way down here at Desert Point, we're going to try to film a tips video, and that actually should already be up by the time you see this one, so I'll put a link in the description below. That's gonna be my best tips for you to help you plan your perfect trip to come visit the Grand Canyon. You really need to put this on your bucket list. I'm way more impressed than I thought I would be. Also, the visitor center is where you're gonna come in if maybe you rode in on the shuttle bus from Tucson. It's gonna drop you off here at the visitor center, and from there you can choose one of the other shuttle buses to get to another point inside the park that you want to go to. So make sure that you pay attention to that map that you were given when you came in the entrance. That map is going to be your saving grace. It's got trailheads on there. It tells you where to eat. It tells you where to go to the bathroom. It tells you where to fill your water up, etc. So keep that map on you at all times, and it will really make your life a lot easier when you're trying to get around the park. If you have the time, and if you're like us and you've rented a car, definitely set aside a little chunk of time to drive down Desert View Drive. This is roughly a 20-mile stretch of road, and it is absolutely breathtaking. It has some beautiful scenic overlooks, and I'm going to tell you, there's no crowds out here. Plus, at the end of this 20-mile stretch is Desert View Watchtower.
The Desert View Watchtower was built in 1932, and it is included with your ticket price into Grand Canyon National Park. This structure was designed by Mary Elizabeth Jane Coulter, who, if you went to the national park, you will know also did the Hoppy House. The architecture is meant to blend into the canyon, and it's based on ancestral Puebloan people of the Colorado Plateau. As of the date of our visit in April 2022, they did close the upper stairs of the Watchtower because of COVID, but hopefully when you visit, you'll get to go upstairs and see a lot of the paintings and artwork which decorate the walls. This artwork was done by Fred Cabote, a Hoppy from Second Mesa, and it represents the physical and spiritual origins of Hoppy life. Be sure to check out the incredible views while you're here, but be very, very careful because aside from one area, there are no rails.
We just went over here to this kind of little general store slash deli, but the deli's closed. Basically like a gift shop and convenience store put together. We have tea, we've got sandwiches and snacks. We're about to take this all to the car. Woo, hello. Get back on the road and head to Page, Arizona. Come on with us. Okay, and is it currently 5:28 now? Because
it is 5:28.
Okay, thanks. We made it to Page, Arizona, more importantly, to Horseshoe Bend. I'm so excited. This is actually more of a to-do than I thought it was. I really thought it would just kind of be a rogue parking lot. You know, you walk out to Horseshoe Bend, it's kind of random, but it's not. There is an entry fee. I think ours was $10 because we had a small car, but of course, if you have larger capacity vans and stuff, it's gonna be a little bit more, upwards of like $35. It does say that you can bring your pets, but they do need to be on a leash, and there's not a lot of cover for shade if you're gonna be out here during the daytime, so just keep that in mind. But she said from the parking lot, it is about a 25-minute walk out to Horseshoe Bend. And then she said, I think the parking lot is open till 10. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe you would be out here shooting the night sky, possibly. Down this trail, the trail is not paved, but it's not kind of like a rogue random trail. It's an actual trail. So I know when I kind of looked into this before, everybody said, you know, really the best time for the views is coming at sunrise because the sun would be coming up behind us over the horseshoe. And it would be easier to see and the pictures would be better and stuff like that, which now that we're here at sunset, I do absolutely agree with that. If you're just wanting to come see it, it doesn't matter. If you're wanting to come see it and maybe film it or take good pictures or something like that, probably sunrise would be your better bet. And I know that they said that you need to get here at least an hour minimum before sunrise, which is going to mean you're walking that path in the dark. The path's not bad. The path is very wide. It's marked off, so I wouldn't worry about that. I would kind of worry about trying to get yourself set up around here in the dark, because there is a part, you can see it back here. This part back here where we walked in on this walkway is, like I said, kind of sectioned off, and I'll show you. And then it does lead into over here an area that does have a little bit of railing. But yeah, the rest of it, there is no railing, and it is quite uneven terrain once you get off the walkway. So just keep that in mind. I think if you have mobility issues, you're not going to probably be able to get off the path. You're still going to be able to see the horseshoe, and that will be fine. But like I say, sunset right now, unfortunately, the sun is right over the horizon and it is right in your retina. So not the best for the video. I'm sorry that it's probably not as pretty as you've seen it on Instagram and stuff, but it is magnificent in person. It's a lot bigger than I expected. I mean, you can't really tell when you watch other people's videos or see a pretty picture on Instagram, but the bend is quite large. And so it is spectacular to see. I would say it's definitely worth what the $10 that we paid to get in here. Totally worth it. It's just really nice out here. It's very peaceful if you can get out here when there's not a ton of people. Very peaceful. You can look at the Colorado River. So again, the same river that helped forge the Grand Canyon, it's here too. So yeah, definitely check out Horseshoe Bend. It's a cool place to see. Okay, we've moved over closer to the kind of lookout area over here. Jeff's gonna hook up his GoPro and see if he can't get some good footage of the sun going down. One thing you need to bring when you come here, especially if you're at sunset, bug spray. I tried to get a little bit of video. There are all these gnats everywhere. Nothing's biting us or anything, but there are gnats everywhere, so definitely bring some bug spray or something. I would also probably say bring something like, this is one of the things I'm testing for my Amazon favorites, my next video, but this is a scarf that's like a multi-use, so you can use it as a shawl, as a scarf. I've used it as a turban for sun protection. I just, when we were sitting over there earlier, had it around my face because the wind will come up and just blow all this dust in your mouth. And anyways, so it's definitely been the MVP, but bring something to like cover your face or cover your neck to keep cool, because to keep warm, because even if you're coming here during the summer, as the sun goes down, it might even get cool. So definitely something to consider. Another tip for Horseshoe Bend, definitely bring some water. And if you're going to be out here for quite some time, bring a snack. There's nothing out here. Absolutely nothing. So there's no water source. Obviously, there's no vending machines. There's no snacks. So prep. Bring some stuff out here. And especially if you're going to come during the summertime, there's nowhere to hide from the sun. So you need to bring like sunscreen, hat, water. Just be prepared. And just like that, we've slept. It's morning time. It's time to go get some breakfast, some coffee, and get on to Antelope Canyon. We are gonna go to LP Espresso here in Page. We looked it up last night. It looked like a really cute coffee shop. They do have cold brew for Jeff. He's down for that cold brew. They've got nitro as well. That's kind of neat and surprising. But they've got some good things to eat. So we're gonna pop in there, and we've got about 2 hours until we need to meet at Antelope Canyon Tours. It's about a 30-minute drive out there. Gotta go get some coffee. Oh, I'm full. That breakfast was so good. We ended up having something like an avocado toast with an avocado bagel instead, with a sliced boiled egg on top. That was delicious. And then we had cookie butter waffles, which is not something that we usually order, but we figured if we're going to be hiking today, might as well carve up. And then I ended up getting a marshmallow latte. So if you're coming on this tour for general admission, the rules are you can't go to the bathroom once you're down there, so you need to do that up here before you go, and you can't take bags with you down there. Since we're on the photography tour, we kind of get some sort of special privileges, so we do get more time. There is a bathroom down there that we can use, and then we can take our bags down there. We can take selfie sticks and all that stuff. Normally, if you're in kind of the general tour, you can't do any of those things. So just keep that in mind when you come. It may be worth a little bit extra cost to be able to take your time, have bathrooms, and be able to, take a bag with all your stuff in it. There are no snacks here, no water, nothing to drink. So if you want any of that, and I highly suggest that you bring it, because even it's mid-April, it's like in the 60s today, the sun's beating down, it's gonna get warm and you're gonna get dehydrated. Definitely bring something to drink if nothing else. Maybe bring you a couple little snacks in your bag just to tide you over, especially if you're gonna be on that photography tour, because it is a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Oh, hopefully we don't get stranded. We are here at the Antelope Canyon tour. This is, I'm going to try to say it correctly, this is done by Tadain Tours. And then you can go to antelopeCanyonX.com to learn more. I'm going to put the link in the description below. Masks are required on the tour. Like I said, right now there's nobody out here, but otherwise masks as of April 2022 are still acknowledged and required by the Navajo Nation. And I believe this is the same whether you're going to be here or any other canyon tour in Page. Same goes for when we go to Monument Valley. So make sure you bring your masks. Something that you need to know about getting out here, they will give you the address to get out here, but GPS isn't great. So like, we just happened to see a really good sign at the road that had all the right words in it that matched my email, but otherwise our GPS was saying that we needed to continue on like 7 more miles.
Due to the Navajo Nation's request for photos only, unfortunately, the video of Antelope Canyon will be limited here. I did include just a little bit so that you can see what kind of mobility issues you might be facing if you have limited mobility, but this place is absolutely magical. We learned on our tour that this canyon is formed by a combination of wind, sand, and flash floods. That's what gives these tall sandstone cliffs a windswept look and really makes you feel like you've landed on a completely different planet.
I am way back here, so I'm not around anybody. I'm gonna take this off real quick. Oh my gosh, that tour was amazing. Hopefully by now you've seen at least some pictures or some videos. This place is phenomenal. It's so beautiful, and nothing that I say, nothing that you've seen on the screen is going to really relay what you're seeing when you're in there. You need to come out here and see it with your own eyes. I definitely recommend the company that we're doing the tour with today, and I'll put a link in the description below. Like I said, our tour guide, phenomenal, especially if you come on a photography tour. He is excellent at showing you where to stand, what settings to have to get the ultimate picture. And I really want him to come back to the Grand Canyon with us and help us take pictures of the Grand Canyon, because we couldn't do it justice at all. If you missed that video all about our trip to the Grand Canyon, I'm going to put it right here. You need to watch it next.